Good morning. It is a little after 8 o'clock on Sunday. I don't know what oh, it's April 2nd. Yes, it is April 2nd. I am sitting in my car outside the hospital. I have been here. Today is my 20th day of primarily being at the hospital, almost exclusively being at the hospital. My husband was diagnosed with cancer on February 3rd. And for much of February, we were getting things worked out so that, he was going through the medical procedures and screenings and developing a treatment plan for his cancer, which was supposed to begin on March 13th. We came to the hospital. Well, actually, we went to the clinic, the chemo clinic, on the morning of the 13th, prepared to spend an entire day for his first chemotherapy treatment. And I had a bag with a game and some cards, divinatory cards, and some books and some snacks. We were advised to bring snacks. Then just be prepared to settle in for the entire day. However, when we got to the meeting with the chemotherapy doctor, he noticed that my husband was looking jaundiced. Ran some blood tests, found out that his liver, which had been suspected of being affected by the cancer, was not functioning properly. And so there were some medical interventions that they wanted to do to strengthen the liver's ability to cope with the chemotherapy, which is hard on everything in your body. And the liver is very important for filtering the poison effects of chemo. So that needed to be dealt with before he could begin therapy. So that late afternoon, early evening, we were checked into the hospital. And we've been here ever since. There's been multiple complications. The prognosis eventually came in so that my husband's lifespan could be anywhere between weeks and maybe 2 to 5 years. There's no opportunity. They don't expect there's any opportunity to cure the cancer. What they're hoping to do is to control it, slow it, allow him to have some time where he can have a functioning and useful and happy life. And that's where I am right now.
Hello, my name is Ren Amory, and I am the proprietress of Witchy books. And that's a lot of glare, so I will just take those off for now. This is my first video on YouTube, and it is not at all the way I intended to introduce myself. However, some dramatic life changes have occurred, and it is time for me to get moving on my endeavor. In part because, aside from creating my books, which I will talk about in a few minutes, I have also decided to offer tarot readings. This was not in my plan at this point in my journey, but it's sort of become necessary for me to have an additional revenue stream, if possible. So I've been a little cagey, so here's what I'm going to tell you. On February 3rd, my beloved husband of 31 years was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Right now, He is in the hospital and has been since March 13th. Up until 2 days ago, I was with him 24/7. But I got sick, I started to feel sick, and came home for one night and then went to the clinic the next day, and it turns out that I have COVID. So I now have a little bit of time to work while I am on quarantine. So I can talk to you, I can't hurt you. So, yeah, this is my terrible introduction to my business. But I need to get started, and I'm hoping that you all can help me figure out how to create the sort of material that you would find useful and helpful. My intention is to give you tours of my books. I have 2 different titles available right now, one of which is called The Book of Appreciation. The second title that I have is The Book of Days. And The Book of Days is a journal, planner, grimoire that is issued each season. And so far I have issued a volume for autumn of 2022, winter of 22-23, and spring of 23. My plan, my intention, is to have the summer volume for 23 available by May 1st.
Good morning. So I thought that I could use my, I thought so many things. I'm going to tell you right now that the learning curve on creating videos is astonishing. I have a very cool new camera that is meant to make it easier, and it does, but it has a lot of settings and adjustments and options and variations on how it can be used, and I don't really have a memorizing kind of brain, but I'm working on it. This is my first time saying this. This is probably the first video that's actually going to go up on my channel, even though I've been working for 2-3 weeks on trying to understand how to create videos. And I know this is rough, and I apologize for that. But if you want to come along for the journey as I figure out how to do this, how to create YouTube channels, how to support my business, Bit of Witchy Books, and my eventual business of readings by Ren, which will be tarot readings that are available, please subscribe to this channel. There's going to be a lot of growth and change as I try and learn how to do this in a way that is helpful to me and to you, and I really appreciate you watching this video this long. Also, like this video, which will allow other people to potentially see it. I don't expect it to have an audience for a good long time yet. But if you like it, if you share it, if you tell other people, hey, there's this crazy old lady who's trying to create a whole life post in her widowhood, by all means, like, share, and leave a comment. Your heart pumps like an engine. Every cell of your body is alive and alert. Your hair flies wildly in the salty sea wind. The limousine's tail lights glow red like demon eyes growing smaller as they drive away. 3 of Swords. Wow. We are staking a vampire. Well, there you go. The storm is here. This is the symbols and signs pages. And there's a pocket in between them, which makes it easy to find if you're working somewhere else and you need to flip back. It's having pockets sort of dividing the book up, makes things a little bit easier. And because, you use one book for a season, it becomes sort of a scrapbook, and so you can tuck things in pockets. They're all the way through, and that's another story. But I've had questions about what to do with the symbols and signs pages. And the answer is anything you want. Period. Ignore them, fill them in, use them the way I do, come up with your own things that you would like to keep track of. For me, on my symbols page, I keep track of my daily tarot card readings. I usually do here I did 3 card readings most days. February was a rough month for me, so I abandoned my book of days, which happens. You do that, and that's part of the memory once the season is over.